Welcome viewers, you're welcome again to Young World. I'm so sure you are excited to be in this show tonight. Because tonight I've got with me 3 princesses, all are princesses of Yoruba land in Nigeria. I am very excited and I'm sure you are too. I want you to get relaxed. If it's not too late for you, get yourself a cup of tea or coffee and then watch the show. Don't forget to call in. The number is 0208 0046 100 and enjoy this show tonight. I'm going to leave my guests to introduce themselves, starting from my right. If you introduce yourself, please, Princess.
My name is Adekemi Aladesuru.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And we have, Her Royal Majesty, Her Royal Highness, our own princess. I'll leave her, Princess Moradehun, to introduce herself again to you.
Hi once again, young people of Young World and our viewers worldwide. I am Her Royal Highness Princess Moradehun Adedoyin-Solarin. Always a pleasure to be with you on the show.
You're welcome, Princess.
Thank you so much.
And I will leave our latest princess. It's her birthday tomorrow. It made me very excited. Can you introduce yourself, ma'am?
Good evening, viewers and young ones. Princess Oluwatoyin Seyi Onoguluwa.
You're welcome, Princess. Viewers, tonight we're going to be discussing on this episode about love in its entity. Love is life, and from young age we are loved. And when you are loved, of course you will love. Love is the world that we live in. Without love, life cannot be lived. So love is the greatest, as it has been said. To start off, I will ask our Princess Moradehun to talk to us about love. Princess.
Thank you so much, and warm welcome to my 2 princesses, Princess Kemi and the birthday girl, Princess Tay.
Yeah, thank you.
What is love? Sometimes we have to try and break down what love is. A lot of times we misinterpret or we misconceptualize the word love. Love is a feeling that you can't hold it, so it's not something tangible. It's something that you feel in your mind, in your soul, in your being, in your person. It's a very strong affection towards someone or something. In essence, what I'm saying is, how do you feel about, for instance, our Creator God, who loves us and gives us everything? How do we reciprocate? How do we feel towards that mighty Creator? The feeling that you have towards that mighty Creator is love, of great affection, of great, what's the word I'm looking for now? Reverence. That is the kind of love towards the Creator. Talking about parents, respect is a kind of love that we show towards our parents, and caring for them, particularly when they now become, elderly. Obeying them, all that shows how much you love your parents. Same with us. well-being is good. Nothing comes near, comes near them. We have the passionate kind of love, the love that is exchanged between a man and a woman, be they boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife, partners. So that's another kind of love, which is the passion kind of love. But love is not necessarily expecting anything back. Just will be. That is my layman's understanding of love.
Thank you, Princess. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Princess Adekemi, what would you tell us about love?
Yeah. Love is a very big thing to talk about, to be and I don't know. Many things have said much, and I just think it just depends on what angle of love you're looking at. For me, the most important one before any love is loving yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. And if you don't understand what love is, it's very difficult to and as a young person, or a person that I'll say, because I had children early and I had to learn things very quickly. I had to learn to love myself, love my child. Every person that I felt or feel deserves the love I have to give. So I can't give anything if I don't know what love is. So maybe I'll start from there.
Thank you very much. Princess Toyin, what will you tell us about love?
Wow. Let me just make a reference to Princess Adekemi. Love is very ambiguous, very big word. Really, the love of God and self-love is very, very important. If you don't love yourself and you don't have the love of God, there is no way you can love anybody else. And then love is peaceful. Love is a blessing. Love doesn't cheat. Love doesn't hate. Love is just a big word to use. And basically, love is good.
Thank you very much, princesses. Thank you so much. I'll come back to you, Princess Moradehun. As a mother, how do you express love? Do you remember from your mom how you were loved before, expressing it towards your children?
Thank you so much. I'm going to start with two princesses said about self-love. The reason I didn't mention self-love was because Princess Kemi had said that before we came into the studios, and I felt I wanted to leave her to express, her mindset on that. When we're talking about loving our children, I think that's one time when we kind of put self-love on the shelf. Mm-hmm. That's the only time. And also, for me, I would kind of flip the coin and say, okay, let's think about our Creator God and us, right? The love God has for the world and for his creation, particularly the people that he created, after his own image. There's so much that he gave just to express the love that he has for these precious beings that he had molded and breathed his breath in. So you can imagine as the parent, both fathers and mothers, love their children, but specifically mothers. This is a being that you inhabited in your body. This being invaded your body and was planted there, and your body nurtures and nourishes this being. And then you're the only person that feels this being. The doctors might use monitoring gadgets to see or to hear, but you are the only one that actually will feel the movement, the kick. I've heard some mothers say that they've actually felt their babies breathe. So you then give birth to this being, and you hold this being in your arms for the first time, and you look into that precious face. Trust me, my sister, self-love, you put it on the shelf. For that moment, because you are beholding this beautiful, beautiful creation. And I think in the life or in the mind of any mother, the word is, maybe you don't even say it out loud, but in your mind is, wow. What an amazing experience I've just had. Popping into this world, this precious creature, which is all yours. I think a child is something that, be the child of natural birth or adopted. If a child is your child, a child is yours. And that is something I believe we have 100% ownership on up to a certain stage. Because we'll obviously have to look after them until we then say, okay, you can leave the nest. So the love that you have for your child is inexplicable. You can't explain it. There are no words to describe. Like my cousin said, love is a huge word. It's very heavy, it's very weighty, it's wide, it's deep, it's tall, it's long, it's with depth. How can you express the love that you have for a child? The Bible says, can a mother ever forget the child that she put to her breast? There's no way you can forget that child. And therefore the love of a mother towards her child is a continuous, it's like renewable energy, if I can borrow that word. It's renewable energy. Each day, it's renewed. You love that child all over again. Even the most troublesome children, when we have children and they get to become teenagers and some of them become troublesome, all you have to do is look in the face of a mother of a troublesome child. Even the worry on the face is the worry of love. When you tell that child off, or you smack the child, or you scold them, it's done out of love, because you love this child so much. You want the child to be perfect, even though we know we ourselves are not perfect beings. Everybody wants their child to be perfect, and therefore you will put anything into loving that child. So I would say I think that's the only time that self-love takes second, because the love of a parent for a child, particularly a mother for a child, is what I would call amazing love. It's just amazing.
Thank you, Princess. Princess Adekemi, do you have anything to add to that before I ask you your question? Okay. As a young person, Princess Kemi, you must have remembered some love from home. How can you relate that, the love you had from home, with the one you give to your children now, as they grow up?
Let me put it this way. When I was growing up, things were completely different to how things are now. My mom always says one thing, that if she knew what she knows now, she would have probably taken another approach
Yeah.
of bringing us up.
Thank
But
you.
at the same time, I don't think my parents did anything wrong with the way they brought us up, because being in the UK, it doesn't really allow you to chastise your children appropriately. At the same time, we can only be careful, because sometimes you don't know the limit to chastisation.
Yeah.
So the way my parents brought me up, then I used to think they're just being wicked, and this can't be my parents. They must be, I must be adopted or something,
I think we all thought that.
We all.
It was one of those ones where my mom would say, make sure the house is tidy before I come back. And you look at the clock, it's 5 minutes to 5, and you're like, she's going to be back in 5 minutes, and the house is messy. It's not even a case of maybe they're going to touch you or anything, but that fear is instilled, and the respect you have for them is the love they've shown you whilst they're bringing you up, so you can understand that I'm doing this because I love you and I don't want you to go astray when you grow older. And I didn't understand that until I started having my own children, and then I sat there, I was like, God, this is hard. And obviously everything my parents showed me, all the love they showed me, I now do this to my children as well. And I'm very sure my children, like my second child, who say, you don't have to shout, I can hear, And in my head I'm thinking, but when I was growing up, I was shouted at. So that's why I started with the way we show love now is completely different to then. And then I want to take it to a different angle entirely now. You see all this gang stuff that happens nowadays, because people are looking for love that they don't know is actually is already at home. They're looking for it outside. Sometimes these kind of things happen because parents have to work 2 or 3 jobs just to keep a roof over the head of a child, but they don't understand that because they're a child and they'll think like a child. So for them, my parents don't care. I'm going to go outside and look for love outside. That's how it starts. And being African, should I say, sometimes we have that terminology of this child has gone rogue, there's nothing more. We don't actually take a step back and have a look at, okay, what exactly can I do to actually let this child understand that I'm doing all I'm doing, so that when they grow up, they don't have to suffer the way they've had to suffer. My parents, when they were bringing us up, my parents used to work 2 jobs. Like, my mom would get us ready in the morning, my dad would take us to school as he's coming back. It was a cycle that worked at that time to give us everything we need. And I'm forever grateful for that, and I always will be. And I wish that as I was growing up, I had the understanding I have now. But that's why with my children, sometimes I'm relaxed, because I look at it that they can't understand at the level of where I'm understanding. So I do try to come down to the level of where their understanding is. But if you don't have patience, you can't have love. So it all works together.
Thank you very much, Princess Adekemi. Princess Toyin, having listened to Princess Moradehun and Princess Adekemi in this regard about love as a parent and as a child, what will be your contribution to them?
As a child, I vividly remember when my father was always traveling, and I vividly remember every time that he's coming back home, we have a signature of a horn.
The horn of his car.
Of his car. As he's coming through the gates, of the big gates, and we can all hear pa, 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 pa. If you are in the toilet, you will run outside too. And the affection that we have throughout within my house, it's so deep that sometimes when my father was always away, I'm always sick. because I miss my father. And my mother will always have to say, please tell me to go and look for him. This child, she's not going to eat. I was a terrible child.
Yeah.
I hated food. If I don't see my father, after certain point, I will not eat. That's the kind of love that he showed us. You know, I remembered every Sundays, we have to sit down on the table in the mornings before we all go to church. We hold hands. Before I know all these things, you don't really understand it. So as I was growing up, I was thinking, why are we doing all this? But then, when you get to a certain stage, you will see that that bonding actually brings the affection and the love for each other. I'm 60 tomorrow.
Wow.
My sister is 55. My younger brother is 52. But if I tell you that every blessed week we must talk, none of them can do without speaking with me. If they don't hear from me within a week, the following week you hear both of them calling on the phone, sister, where are you? We didn't hear from you. It's that bonding, that love is always there. And before my mother died, you know what she said? She called me, she said, you are the eldest. And actually, even before she died, she's always forever saying it. Please, my dear, you are the eldest. You are the one that says that this world is beautiful and sweet. You brought Princess Diola to world. You brought Prince Tunde into this world. Please, whatever they do, please, don't fight with them. Okay, you can fight with them, but bring them back. You know, as they always say, you smack a child with the left hand, you show love back to them with the right hand side. And that's what love is all about. You know, love is also about forgiving. Of course, there's no way. Even twins that came out from the same placenta, they do fight. They have their differences. But because of the love that they have for each other, they still forgive each other. They still have to talk. You know, so this word love is very huge. You know, and it's my daughter was telling me yesterday, she said, you and your sister, your cousin, she's my cousin, but they call her sister. You and your sister, is there anything that can make you fight? And I said to them, you know something? Yes, when we were young, we have our differences. But the thing is, when I don't see her or when she doesn't see me, we can pick and say, oh, she's still okay. When she's on her phone, like last week, you know, she didn't hear from me for about 2 days. I just went on the ground, really. And she was calling everybody around. Have you heard from your mommy? I've not seen her. You know, that kind of love. Even if you are angry, but you can see that this person is actually showing you that kind of love. Would you not reciprocate?
Exactly.
Love is reciprocal.
Thank you very much, Princess.
You're welcome.
Young people out there, this is for you to know. As we've had our guest tonight talk, love starts within the home. You must love yourself. You be loved and you show love. All of us have that experience. We are at a point in time we think, oh, my mom is not my mom.
Oh my God.
I had that experience as well. It wasn't just in the UK. It was good love they gave us. And I said to my auntie, she's not my mother. And I cried with self-pitying.
You had a pity party.
But just as Princess Adekemi have said, and all of us, we are very grateful for this love.
Absolutely.
We are going to go to another aspect of love here. Love for nature.
the world that we live in. I'll come back to you, Princess Moradehun.
Love for nature.
Love for nature.
Nature again is, thank you very much. Nature again is also very vast. Are you talking about the air you breathe? Yeah, the birds, the scenery, the ocean, the little creatures that we see. Some we don't even see, we step on them, but they're there, tiny ants and stuff. You have to be able to appreciate nature. I know there's some people that take it to extremes, whereby they put creatures above human beings. I don't think that's God's plan, and that's me personally, and I don't think that's the right way. People just put their pets or whatever above human beings. But we know that according to the chain of nature, the human being is right at the top, because we are the ones, we have a conscience, we can reason. Animals don't read, they don't reason, they just go and do what they need to do whenever. And therefore, because we can reason and we have a conscience, I believe it's very pertinent that we embrace whatever is out there as God's natural world. Be thankful for everything, because we are all interlinked. The oxygen that we breathe is emitted from plants nature, and various other organisms that maybe we can't see. Funny as it might sound, what we also pass out of our body could also fertilize nature. So it's like a chain. And if one of us breaks that chain, there could be death, there could be imminent damage. So I believe we need to really think. I think what happens is we don't, as human beings, we take a lot of things for granted, as if it's there for the taking. Whereas that's not the way it should be, really. If we could just stop and pause and have a little think about some issues surrounding nature, I think nature has a way of making us better people, actually, better human beings. Because the times all you have to do is just take a walk and breathe fresh air and look at the greeneries, hear the birds chirping early in the morning, and in your heart you're saying, it's good to be alive. You feel a connection with nature. And as some people say, our elders in Yoruba would say, if you're quiet enough, like if you're in a mode of quietude, you probably can hear nature speak.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Princess Adekemi, you just look at this scenario. You go to the beach with your children. What do you think their first reaction will be?
Excitement.
Yeah.
And then my children run into the water. And they was very happy. Definitely.
Yeah. And no one taught them to do that. Don't you think it's natural to love? So I want you to talk about that a bit. Just look at that scenario and see how natural these children will react towards nature.
When you talk about children, they feed off positive energy.
Yes.
If they feel there's danger there, they're not gonna go.
Yeah.
It's a natural instinct. It's inbuilt in them. Even though at times they do behave like they don't have a sense of fear, but there's this natural instinct that does not gel. If something does not gel with them, they're not going there. They're not going to do it. They're going to find a way. Even sometimes when you see some children, when you want to carry them, and for some reason there's one particular person that they don't want to. There's something they're seeing that we cannot see because they're very pure. Their mind is so pure. Like you can offend a child now or chastise a child now, and the next minute they're playing with you. But if you offend me now, I'm still thinking, what am I going to do to that person? Do you understand? So it's nature. As you grow and you develop and you mature, there's a lot of things that you will pick up as you go along. So in the aspects of nature, naturalness, and purity, children are able to just know when I can go and when I need to stay in the security of the bosom of my parents.
Thank you very much.
It's interesting what Princess Kemi said. Remember, was it last week you were talking about how we are as human beings? And she said, children are they're very pure. In fact, they're more connected to the spirit, than we are as adults. I remember I was saying that nobody gets born messed up. We all become like that along the way because of what we imbibe and what we pick up.
I think, can I just change that?
Yeah, that's fine.
I agree with what Princess said, but I feel nobody's created messed up. Some people are born messed up based on the individual bringing them into the world. For example, if we go into the medical kind of terms, if your mother is always on crack cocaine or something, when you're born you're going to have withdrawal symptoms. Some children never ever get right.
Oh, I wasn't talking about scientific and biological stuff. I was just talking about natural people that were how God has created us.
I agree with that, definitely.
We'll come to that aspect of yours.
Because that's a very key.
Very key. Yes, very key.
I feel children, imagine how children react to flowers on the floor. Imagine how they react with animals. My granddaughters, all my granddaughters, they will see a beautiful flower. Nana, look, beautiful flower. Or they will come home and say, I brought this for you, Nana. The way they react and the way their faces light up when they see things like that, that's the way they felt.
The love from within.
That's the love from within.
Yes.
So, nature has a way of getting into one as well.
That's
in a
true.
way. So when you have the love of nature, nature will love you too.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
We have the air.
Yeah?
The air comes on your face and you breathe it in. So when you have a shiny face, that's the love, the air. The love.
Thank you very much,
You're
Princess.
welcome.
Thank you. We're going to look again. Love being a very big we can't overemphasize, love. And we know that love is our life. It gets to a certain stage in everybody's life. You want to be loved in a certain way. And you also want to show love in a certain way. I'll come back to you, Princess Moradehun. At that age, if you can go back down memory lane, an age where you desire to be loved in a certain way.
Can you break that down?
The young people.
Are you talking about male-female relationship?
Sometimes.
Or parents?
I've not come to male-female relationship.
Parents?
I will talk about as we grow in as young people, and you want someone to be your friend.
Okay.
Yeah. You desire somehow. I desire Adekemi be close to me. I try to go close to her so we can be friends. It's not home now. It's as you're growing as a young person. Yeah.
I think it actually starts from home, from your siblings.
Okay.
Because that's a totally different kind of love.
Okay.
From the one you have with your parents.
With your parents, siblings.
So sometimes I remember my my mom used to say that you don't have to like your sister, you must love her.
Love, okay.
And I didn't quite get it when I was younger, because then, you know, sisters can be like annoying pop-ups sometimes, you know, or younger brothers, you know, maybe you want to do your own thing and they just, you know, in your face and on your case, and there'll be little squabbles. And my mother would say, you don't have to like, I don't like her, you don't have to like her.
You have to love her.
You must love her.
It's a must.
It's a must. So you start understanding that from siblings, and then you have your cousins, because those are the first people you meet, you know, outside the core family of your brothers or your sisters.
Yeah.
They're your cousins, and then maybe close family friends and neighbors. And there might be a particular neighbor that, you know, you kind of maybe just like the way, it could be a boy, it could be a girl, just like the way the person, maybe the way they talk, maybe what they wear, or maybe how they react to you when they see you. Some people might just see you and say, oh, Moradehun, nice to see you. And you want to reciprocate. And because we know that love is an energy. It's energy. You know, it bounces off, you know. And especially if it's the positive kind of energy, you know, you would meet at some point, and you would have similar feelings towards each other, and that's how we start forming our first friendships.
Yes, right. Yeah.
So it might be the next door neighbor, it might be somebody in nursery school. For instance, you know, my granddaughter, she would keep talking about somebody in nursery.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, who's that? Oh, that's my friend. And that enough energizes her to want to go to nursery the next day. So if she's having like a crappy morning, I don't want to go to school. And the mom says, oh, you're not going to see so-and-so. Oh, I am. Well, you're not if you don't go to school. Immediately the mood changes, because the thought of having a good time, having laughs with this person, you know, playing, you know, with the dolls or whatever it is that they play with, gives that child the energy to want to go to school. And that keeps growing with us as we grow older. And then you go to proper primary school, where you start, there's some friends that we've formed when we're in primary school. Not many, but there are a few that you still keep, as you know, you keep your friendship. And then secondary school. Secondary school is a totally different ballgame.
Yes.
Again, because by that time we've going through our formative years, you know, going into teens, starting to understand the world around you a bit more, and therefore you're losing a little bit of the innocence that you had as a baby and a child, and sometimes maybe even getting a little bit judgmental.
Yeah.
You know, not in a bad way, but it's like,
you prefer.
Yes. Let me look after my corner. You know, I don't want any wahala with anybody. You know, I don't want any trouble. And you try to see those people that you feel your ways are similar. You like the same things. You know, you laugh at the same jokes. You dress similarly. You reason, you know, likewise. So you gravitate towards such, you know, people. And that's another kind of love. So that's like peer. Those are your peers. And that's peerage love, the love we share amongst peers. And not to talk of college and uni. Boom. That is a bigger, wider world where you have become an adult. And this one is by choice.
Okay. Love by
and
choice.
Sadly, sometimes there's that thing in the back of your mind telling you, don't be friends with that girl.
And you still go.
And you still go. Maybe because that girl happens to be the popular girl.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's something about her that you envy, not in a bad, okay, let me use the word admire.
Yeah.
You know,
Admire.
that you really admire. And because you admire her and you kind of look up to her, not like a master-servant relationship, but this is, I would love to be like Princess Kemi. I like the way she does her hair. I wish I could do my hair like that. Maybe if I'm her friend, we could be twins. We could, look alike, dress alike.
Yeah.
And sometimes Princess Kemi might not be the best thing for you. Or you might not even be the best thing for Princess Kemi. And that's why I said that's where choice is. So we walk into things with our eyes wide open.
Thank you, Princess. Princess Adekemi, can you tell us about love among siblings? I mean, you have your siblings here, and you could say something about them.
Okay. Sibling love. A very dangerous kind of love. It's a very, very dangerous game. And I say that because, or for example, let's go this way. I am the eldest out of 4. We have 1 boy, 3 girls. The one that is immediately after me, we call her the 30-second craze. Because she's like that. If she explodes, she explodes. And we used to fight a lot growing up, to the point where she bit my head and I probably punched her nose or something, but we could go out that same day, and if somebody was rude to me, she would step in. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
And that's why I said it's a very dangerous love, because
It's extreme.
it's a very, very, it's something you can't penetrate unless you want it to be penetrated. And it's another thing whereby it's like a safe haven.
Okay.
My brother is currently in uni now. There's some things that he would say to us that he wouldn't go to my parents. And I feel like if you don't have that love, or you don't feel comfortable talking to your siblings, you wouldn't be able to share certain problems. And you need to have that emotional attachment to be able to open your mouth and say something, because you believe that my siblings are not going to mock me. My siblings are not going to laugh at me falling down.
Safe with them.
I feel, because you also have that feeling like if you fall down, they fall down. If you're all standing in one, you're all going to stand for a long time. And my mom used to say this thing as well to us, or even my dad as well. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Your friends can be there and they will say to you, oh, do it this way is the best way. But in their house, they're doing it a different way entirely. Your siblings will tell you, this is what I think, but whatever you choose, I will support you. This is the difference. That's why I said it's a very, very dangerous field to go into. My children as well, my 2 boys, they fight a lot. But if I give one a smack on the bum, the other one is coming for me. Why did you smack him? He's young. They know that there's a reason they need to defend each other. They need to have that safe link, because I'm not going to be there forever. Their dad is not going to be there forever. Our grandma, whatever, nobody's going to be there forever. You are going to look after each other. It's a cycle.
Yeah.
So if they don't know what that love is now, danger is all I can say, because they're going to go astray, and there's nothing that can be done. Even as a counselor or whatever, if you talk, there's nothing you can do. If the sibling love is not there, there's no point. There's just no point.
Thank you very much. Princess Toyin.
When I started speaking earlier on, I mentioned about my siblings and how if they don't hear from me within a week, they will have to call me. Both of them will actually gang up and say, you call her first. As you're calling her, I'll be calling her as well. If you don't hear from her, you know Princess Dion's phone number, call Princess Dion. So what they would do first is they would message me, sister, are you okay?
No response?
No response. She will call the other one. I didn't hear from her. She didn't respond. That kind of love, and it actually goes over to the children as well.
Yes.
My children, they actually gang up, and they know so much things about each other that you yourself as parents doesn't know. recently my two girls were just telling me about how their brother and the way they all behave together, how he will leave her school to go to the youngest school, and if somebody is trying to bully her, she will say, I'm going to tell my brother. And then hearing that alone, brother, your brother is coming to my school, that means there's trouble. So, but they do fight. They have their differences. Like Princess Kemi said, they fight just now. But if both of them goes out, somebody tries to step on one of them, you are in trouble. They put you in the middle. They sandwich you. That is the love. That is what love is all about.
Thank you, Princess.
You know, with the sibling love as well, I think it's very important because it changes hands. And what do I mean by that? As you grow older, it's like the parents become children and you become the adult.
Absolutely.
So it's like at times I can say my dad, he leaves the house early in the morning for work and he's not back till night of night. So sometimes I just call Dad, what's up, babe? Who's your babe? But just checking in on him. And with my mom as well, like at times if she's gonna work overnight, who did you tell? Did you tell us before you accepted the shift? And she'll be like, who's meant to tell you who what? But if that love was not instilled in us from the beginning, you're not going to care if your parents are coming home or if they're
okay.
And you will know if something is wrong because there's a connection. And you will know if somebody in your family is in danger because they've instilled this love, that connection that can't be broken. Once there's divine love, you will know it. You will feel it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And because our view as young people especially, let's think about the opposite, where siblings are in rivalry with one another. Our Princess Moradehun, can you?
Sibling rivalry. Funny enough, it also stems out of love in a roundabout way. Because siblings are raised, born of the same parents, raised in the same household. So practically they've more or less had the same things, offered them in care, in love, whatever facilities the parents can provide. And then sometimes in growing up, a particular sibling it could be the eldest that is in rivalry with the younger one, and it could be the other way around. Sometimes parents cause it without knowing, not that they set out to do that. And sometimes some sibling rivalry is what I would call unfounded and uncalled for. It's in the imagination of that particular sibling because of what they are thinking. They're thinking, oh, Daddy loves this person more than me. They prefer what he or she does. They don't give me the attention that they give them. Whereas it might have nothing to do with that. So, as we said earlier, people pick up things along the way from the time they're born. So we then become our own characters. Everybody has their own individual character. Despite the fact that we share the same DNA, we're still very different. Because at the end of the day, your blueprint is different from mine. That's why our thumbprints are different. Every human being that has been born into this world has one thing unique to them. Your own print is different. So that means your makeup, your person, your being, no matter how identical we are as twins, we're still different human beings. And therefore, a particular sibling might just get the wrong end of the stick and think. I'm not saying there is sibling rivalry. We've heard of so many that have even become really bad. It has aggravated to resentment and hatred. We've heard of siblings that have tried to even kill themselves. I'm not sure why they even use the word rivalry. It's sibling hatred, and it's probably envy, jealousy. Most of it, as I said, probably unfounded. Because by the time I've known of whereby siblings have now decided to, okay, let's sit and communicate. Because another big issue is communication. You know, because the wall keeps building, it gets higher and higher, and then gets thicker and thicker. And sometimes there's no way round or under or above. I say just kick through it.
Yes.
That's the best way. You know, I'm a very firm believer in communication.
Okay.
And I believe the best way to go about it is to communicate.
Okay.
One of them has to be the bigger person.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's older, who's younger.
Yeah.
One of them has to be the bigger person and communicate and say, we can't continue like this.
Yes.
We're either going to still have children or already started having children. Are we going to pass this on? Because what happens, there will be a generational divide. You know, enemies of the same household.
Within the same
That doesn't make
household.
any sense. That was not the plan. Why did mommy and daddy come together and make us out of love? So we must ensure that there is nothing that comes against that love. Because wherever there is love, you know, just like my cousin said and Princess Kim said, love is very deep.
Yes.
Love is very precious. It's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful thing. And therefore, and love is positive. It's full of positivity. So negative energy would always want or try to penetrate and to break up where beautiful love resides. So it's up to us as human beings. And that's why God gave us free will and the ability to choose. So we have choices. And sometimes you love somebody so much that you use that love to erase hate. I don't know whether that makes any sense.
That's
I have done that before.
Yes.
And she knows what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You love that person so much, they don't have a choice. They'll just have to love you back. You know, you reduce them to, why am I doing this? It doesn't even make any sense. You know, and the sad thing is siblings that rival, they do miss each other. There are times that they do, but because that wedge is there, you're feeling too big to go call your sister, you know, or reach out to your brother. And ego has come in. I'm not going to be the first person to talk to that. No, if he doesn't apologize, anybody can apologize. I am the quickest person to apologize. I don't care. I'm sorry, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to take anything away from you. So one thing that young people need to also understand is to please do whatever it is in their might to move away from rivaling with their siblings. You know, when you're in an army, you know, you're told never break ranks. The first set of army that you have are your siblings. Be it the one sibling, be it more. That's your army. Don't break ranks. No matter what. Soldiers are always soldiers. They will have each other's back against the enemy. They can go back to their barracks and box it out. But against the enemy, they have each other's back. That's the number one rule. You must never break ranks. So we have to also let young people know that. Never ever break ranks, you know, amongst yourselves. Because the more you are bonded together, the stronger your defense. And the easier it is for you to understand each other better. Because you'll have the opportunity to then sit and talk about it. Okay, this is what you do that I don't like. Maybe I didn't even know you didn't like that. And then I can apologize, and then I'll be able to watch myself to ensure that I don't rub you off. My sister doesn't like this thing. Don't let me do it. You know, we'll become conscious. The person that said that adage, love makes the world go round, they knew exactly what they were saying. It's the lack of love that has punched a lot of holes in our world on different levels. So sibling rivalry is something we need to really try to get away from us, and parents should please try to be a little bit more conscious about how they treat their children, so that one doesn't feel favored over another.
Thank you, Princess. Do you have any contribution towards sibling rivalry, Princess Adekemi?
I don't think so, but I've never experienced it. So.
Yes. How about you, Princess?
Really and truly, I've never experienced it, but I know that it also stems from home. Like my sister here said, sometimes the parents cause certain issues within the children, but they don't realize it. But if a parent says that there is a little snitch about, oh, you like this person before I like you, you like me. If a parent can call that child and say, who is first, you or her? Okay, you think I like her better? Both of you, you're from here. So how can I like you more than her? How can I like her more than you? You're the same. So really and truly, it should be stopped from home.
From home. So a parents should they clarify.
Yes. They should play a big role in stopping sibling rivalry.
Thank you very much, Princess.
Can I just say something to what Princess said? You made a very valuable point about telling a child or explaining that you both came from inside me. Why would I love one more than the other? I think we mix love and attention together. A child sees that the brother or the younger sibling is getting all the attention. Automatically they believe you love this person more.
That's what they believe, yeah.
I explained to my lot that I have 10, 4 and 2, so my range is very good. And I explained to my 10-year-old that my 2-year-old is vulnerable compared to yourself. I know that you can handle yourself, so he may need more attention than you.
Yeah.
So it's not a case that I love him more or her more. At times, a particular child will need more attention or help than another child. So it's more about clarification on the words we use, because children of nowadays, like even if you go to school, they'll tell you don't call a child a naughty child, because it has an effect on how the child visualizes themselves. It's all about words. Do you understand? So if people make, or if parents make the situation clearer by explaining.
Yes.
And coming from an African background is more like, do as I say, don't do as I do. But as time has evolved, things have started changing. It's not everywhere yet, but it has started changing. There's more of an explanation. Even at my grown age, I still say things to my mom like, why? You know. But when you get that explanation, you understand better.
You just echoed what I said, that it actually stems from home.
Oh yes.
The parents has a big role to play. You just mentioned that your children, you have to explain to the older one and say that is the job of a parent. So you now explain to the older one to let him know that, look, it's not that I'm showing him more attention because he's more vulnerable than you. That is the work of the parents. Now, if you don't do that, you neglect the first one complaining to you that why are you giving him this? Why are you doing this? Now, this is where all this build-up starts.
Yes.
And that will, hibernate into the child's mind and be thinking along all the time that, oh, after all, my mom loves me, gives you all the attention more than I do. Whereas if you had nipped it in the bud, it wouldn't be bad.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
we're going to go to the final one we'll discuss tonight. We've talked about love as a child, growing up among siblings and all that. As ladies, we get to a stage in life, we love the opposite sex. The way Princess Moradehun is looking at me, it's like she's going down memory lane to her first love towards the opposite sex.
Love. I think at a very young age we misinterpret what we feel towards a boy as a young girl. We misinterpret it and call it love. A lot of times it's infatuation.
Yes.
You know, you just want to be in the company of that person. We don't know the other aspects of two adults, you know, expressing love. So if I think back, I'm not sure. I was a bit of a tomboy growing up. I used to hang out a lot with my male cousins. I'm not sure I really was into love at a young age. I could like somebody, very much, or be infatuated. A lot of times, for a young girl, it's usually the idols that we see, in the film or music stars.
Yeah.
Those are my room was full of pop idols. So they were real people, but they were not people that I knew or I felt I was going to meet. So the young boys or men that were around me at that time, back in Nigeria, none of them looked like
the idol,
those kind of idols. Anyway, that's what I was saying, and what I felt towards those idols was, I really, as far as I was concerned, they were the ultimate. So there was friendship and probably infatuation. The fun thing about infatuation is it fizzles out very quickly.
Yes.
After a while, it might be some little thing that the young man would see as like, don't call my house again. Or I don't want to see you again.
Yes.
It gets to a stage before you then start thinking differently, because how you feel towards the opposite gender also changes.
Yes.
So it's different from when I was infatuated to a young boy, or when I was just loving these pop idols. This is now real life. And a lot of times you don't know what to do with that feeling if that person shows you so much attention and care and love, as it were, at that time. You don't really know how to reciprocate. Because at the back of your mind, your mom has told you, your grandma has told you that if you shake the hand of a boy, you
get pregnant.
So, but the way you would know that feeling that you had when you were younger is now changed, is different, because you feel differently.
Yes.
I'm not sure whether there are any words to describe it. The feeling is just completely different. And I'm sure every young woman who's gone through puberty would understand what I'm saying. It's a very different feeling. It's like in your gut. If you don't see this person, you can't sleep. Your heart palpitates when the phone, then we had phones in the house that sat on the table. Or the doorbell goes and, maybe the houseboy or the housegirl is going to open the door, and you're thinking, maybe so and so that's coming. And your mom is looking at you up and down like, what's your problem?
If that's all you know.
Must you go to the door? Sit down. Are you expecting anybody? And you can't say yes, but you're expecting somebody. And then they write you little notes, and you sit and read the notes forever and ever until the paper has become tattered. You put it under your pillow read again. That was love in its innocent stage.
Yes.
If we now fast forward to 21st century, because I was a teenager in the 70s, this is now the noughties. What are young people now?
Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah.
What the teenagers now think or feel is love. It's nothing near that at all. They feel the physical intimacy with a boy or with a girl. They're mistaking that for love. That's just a physical exercise.
Physical exercise.
It's just a physical exercise. And then what happens with young people is they probably feel disgust after it because this is not what I read in all the love novels, the romantic novels, or what I watched in that film. Because real life is very different from make-believe, which is film or novels. And a lot of times, because a young person is looking for love, looking for acceptance, looking for somebody to just say, it's okay, you'll be fine. And they don't get it at home. Because parents are busy, they're trying to pay the bills, put a roof over their head.
Yes.
And I've sent you to a private school, I've bought you all the things that you want. Once in a while when I am able to, I buy you these designer things. What else do you want? The parents believe and think you should just be where I've put you. And they kind of forget that this child is growing. The world around us now has changed. It's not like how it was. The world is in their palm. Their iPad, their iPhone, their Android, It's there. So what mom and dad are not telling them or discussing with them or reassuring them about, they just have to tip of the finger.
Yes.
And sometimes they get into wrong information that maybe their young minds are not ready for yet.
Yes.
Or they don't have a good grasp or understanding of what it's about. And we have seen a lot of young people who felt, okay, maybe what we have to do is get married. And some people get married really, really young, as teenagers.
For wrong reasons.
And it's for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
And then the home will become Anthony Joshua's boxing ring.
No.
And sadly, because they will then now really hate each other. I don't even know why I married you.
Exactly.
I don't know why I married you either. But you guys thought that you were in love. There's a difference between loving someone and being in love. Two different things.
Thank you.
You can love someone so deeply, so amazingly, so wonderfully, but not be in love with them.
Thank you very much, Princess. Mrs. Adekemi, do you have a contribution to that? You're a wife, you're a mother, you're a daughter, so you could...
And she's a young one.
And you're the young person here. You can contribute.
That's deep.
Very deep.
It's deep. It's very deep. I will say this though. You said my key words, which is you can love somebody and not be in love with them. It's also okay not to be okay. This is what people need to understand. Sometimes, I'm talking about young people now here. It's okay not to be okay. Sometimes you find yourself in a situation and you think the world is going to stigmatize you if you step out of that situation. So you keep on plodding on, even though in yourself you know that this is not for you. It's not for you. It may have been for you 5 years ago,
momentarily,
6 years ago. I'm just even using that as an example. But you do sometimes get to a stage in life where you just be like, this is it.
Yeah.
But coming from an African background, and I keep on hammering on African background because we have a lot of ideas for from our culture that does not allow you to have that freedom of speech. When you say what you feel, you may get, shut up my friend, what do you know? I have been in this game for a long time.
That's true.
And that's the mistake a lot of parents have made and are still making. Now, when I was growing up, I used to think, I'm not telling my mom anything because if I tell her, she's either going to shout or she's going to, and what I'm trying to get from her, I'm not going to get it. But now, if I want to tell my mom something, I know when to go to her, how to present it to her, for me to be able to get the information that I need to get out. She may say all sorts of things that I don't like, but what I'm going for, I'm going to get that information. So it's very paramount that sometimes, I'm not saying forget culture, but it's very, very paramount to try and blend to your child's culture as well, because being born and raised in UK is completely different to being born and raised in Nigeria. My husband was born and raised in Nigeria. I was born and raised here. Something like, if I say like British people now, you'll be like, oh, you're so stupid. Say that to a Nigerian person. What did you say? Are you abusing me? Are you talking to me? That's where the culture clash comes into, and then that's when love starts depreciating day by day without you even picking on it, that it's reducing until you get to that stage where you're like,
what am I doing here?
And it tells on, the energy breathes, and it tells on other people that are around you or are in your inner circle. And I keep on saying it, I thank God that my parents had the patience to bring me to where I am now, because growing up I was a bad child. As in, when I say bad child, I was naughty. Very, 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 very naughty. And I always pray to God that my children are never, ever, ever anything like I was, because I don't know how my parents coped, but if my children did 1/10 of what I did to my parents, I think I would die. Seriously, I really think I would R.I.P.
I apologize.
You know,
Pressing up.
It's a big thing, but love has so many levels to it, and you just have to learn every day. And you also need to learn when you need to call it quits and start again. There's never anything wrong with starting again. You just need to know when to do and when to make the steps. Don't look at the market, the noise in the market. Look at what you came to buy in that market.
That's a Yoruba adage.
That's the easiest way to put it. And I just want to also put in there that our culture is also very, very important. I'm not against it. A lot of people didn't believe when my parents said I hadn't been to Nigeria before until 2013. Because when I speak Yoruba, you think I was born and raised in Nigeria. And I think that probably stems because I was a nosy parker. I like to know what's going, what's coming. My parents even used to speak this Yoruba black slang, Eno. And
you understand
I know when I speak it, I hear it. And my parents used to sit down thinking, oh yes, we are talking. They didn't get it. And my sister and I will be laughing at them like, oh sure. See them there, they don't even know enough to learn anything. But it's all to do with love. It's all to do with, did you hear what they said? I didn't catch it. Did you catch it? Yeah. Let's see, let's do. It's very important. And I just want to reverse a little bit further with this love stem as well. When I was growing up, the love that my parents gave me made me who I am today. And it's a very, very big factor. My daughter likes things like slime and all of that. My husband hates slime. He doesn't even want to see it. But I know it's something that as Africans we like to kill anything that's not nurse, doctor, president, governor, you understand? But these little things, there are people that are millionaires from it. There are people that are billionaires from it. So I became proactive. What do you like doing? All right, let's see what we can do. It's a different form of love. My mom, when I was young, used to dress me up for parties. If my dad came through the door and he's going to the mechanic, I'm going to the mechanic in that dress. It's just the relationship and the rapport that is there. So it's very important as parents, new parents, old parents, any bridges that have been that are broken, that is not allowing love to flow freely, you need to mend it. It's not about today, it's about tomorrow.
Yeah.
My grandma, when I went to Nigeria, I love going to Nigeria, by the way. So when I went to Nigeria and I saw my grandma, it made me realize that whether we like it or not, it's a cycle. What we do when we're young is what's going to be left for us when we're older. So if you do not love, you're not going to be loved. You're going to be left alone. You're going to die old and lonely.
Yeah.
The same thing when I deal with my patients. There's a certain kind of love that I give them without being, over my limit or jurisdiction. Because there are some patients that just need to hear, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right.
Yeah.
And whether we like it or not, as human beings, we have that blood running through our body, and you think, what if? So love is a very, very, very big thing.
Yes.
Man love, intimate love,
Yes.
it's a big thing. And Princess mentioned something very important as well, that growing up, when you meet a boy, you like the boy, oh yeah, that's my guy. A lot of things is because my friend has a boyfriend, I need to have a boyfriend.
Yes.
My daughter said something to me. My daughter said something to me a couple of weeks ago that, by the way, my daughter's in year 5, so what I'm about to say, please picture that 2 girls in her class are lesbians. And I said, what do you know about lesbianism, first of all? She said, yeah, because they teach us about the rainbow stuff and being open. Please, this thing is very, very important. You need to let your children understand that they are teaching this in school, but this is not our culture. And we have to be very careful in what we do. On a normal day, I could say to my daughter, shut up, what do you know about this? But because I wanted to understand her understanding of what's going on, so I know how to relate to her on it. It's another form of love. And it's a very, very important form of love, so that we don't miss it. Then later you'll be sitting there, how did I not see it? What's it? It's very, very important to have attention to detail. Even if you don't have children and you're aspiring or whatever it is, just have that openness of be approachable so people can share what they feel, and that's another form of love. But I'm going to go back to what you said about man and woman love. That's dangerous love too. It's a very dangerous love because you could love somebody 1,000,000%, and that person can only love you 5%, or you don't know. You only know yourself. You only know what's in you. So I think it was Senior Princess that said something about love is not given to receive back. It's just given because that's you, and that's very key.
Yes, that's very key. Thank you very much, Princess Adekemi.
I will also add to the fact that love is caring. Most people, like my sister said here, that we mistaken love for infatuation. When you know that somebody doesn't really love you, you will know. People do know. It's just that we are in denial.
Gut feeling. Gut feeling.
Because the love you are showing this person, you are not actually receiving it back. Love is actually reciprocal.
Yes, reciprocal.
If I love you and I say, like when you go out, I'm looking at the time, you're supposed to be back, you are not back here. That's that care, but let's take it back to boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay.
I'm a girl, I came to visit my boyfriend and I'm going. As soon as, let me take it back, step one back. I came in, I gave you a hug, hi, how are you? You peck on the cheeks and all that. You sat down, you do everything that you wanted to do, and then on the way out, bye. No hug. No affection. Love is affectionate. Love is a very deep, deep meaning, very huge meaning. And we do know when other loves you back. And it's very painful. I've not experienced it, but I know
It is.
because I've had a friend. I have the text. The person said to me, you know, it's very painful when you love somebody and they don't love you back. The person genuinely loves me, and he is actually in love with me, but I just love him. But that is just my own. But there are so many instances whereby you can actually tell that this person actually is genuine, really in love with you. But the kind of love you have, it could be for somebody else.
Yes.
So like you rightly said, love is a dangerous thing. It is. Love is a very, very dangerous thing. And it's usually human beings. Even if you have a dog, if you're living with the dog, my sister has a dog. We call the dog Bingo. If my sister goes to school, you will see that dog quiet. She will not move. She will not move. You call her, you give her food, she will stay there, she will eat the food, she will drink and everything, goes back to sit in her place. I tell you what, as soon as this dog smell, I don't know how they smell. You know, dogs have very strong smell, very sensitive smell. As soon as this dog smells my sister coming from a very farther down the road, you will see the dog wagging his tail and jumping into the door, and I'm thinking, what's wrong with the dog? You'll be thinking there is something wrong with the dog. At the beginning, we didn't actually realize it. It was that dog that let us realize that their life down the road.
On the way.
You know something? That is love. If a dog can love somebody like that, so as soon as she walks in the house, you can see the dog jumping, and what happened? My sister in turn, she will hold the dog, she will hold, and she will come, you know, she will bounce on her and kissing her, licking her face, and then she will give the dog something to eat and all that. You know, and you can see that kind of affection that they both give each other, and that is dog and human. Do you understand? The dog that cannot even talk.
Yes.
So that is just like that. So if somebody loves you and you don't get it back, it's very painful. Imagine if that dog, the way the dog was jumping, and my sister just comes, go. Do you know?
Yeah.
You know, the dog cannot talk, but you can tell that she will be very disappointed.
Yes.
And that is just natural. And that I can relate as well with human beings.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We're going to be rounding up. What will you be your advice to our viewers out there, our young ones? Princess Moradehun.
Thank you so much. And thank you to my co-panelists. I've also learnt from both of you. Well, young people, what I would say is be careful who you love, what you love, why you love, and when you love, and how you love. I'll say one more time. Be very careful who you love, what you love, why you love, when you love, and how you love. Because as we've both agreed, love is very dangerous, even though it can be a most beautiful thing. For young people, the very first thing is to love yourself. It's so important. Once you love yourself, you'll be able to do all the other ones that I said. take care of yourselves, and enjoy your young world.
Thank you, Princess. Princess Adekemi, what do you have to tell our viewers?
Yeah, I would say, for me, I'll tell myself first, self-love is the key. And then I'll tell you guys too, love yourself, love everything about yourself. Even the ones that people say is good, bad, ugly, love yourself. When you love yourself, then you grow to love anyone else that comes into your life. And when you also have self-love, you'll be able to depict wicked love and genuine love. Know when to call it quits, and know that it's okay not to be okay. And also, as hard as it may be, sometimes you just need to seek outside help. Not from your peers or somebody that you're both knocking heads the same way. There are adults out there or parents out there that will give you the wisdom that you cannot have. There's an adage they say that a child cannot have as much rags as the old, as the old, which means, no matter what it is that you think you know more than an old person, there's some things that they see sitting down when you're standing. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you very much. All right, Princess.
As for me,
yes,
young world, I would say don't mix love with caring. You can have somebody that you actually care for, but does not mean that you are in love with the person. You love the person, definitely, but you are not really in love. So don't mix being in love with somebody that you love. And also know when to quit. And it's also good, and nothing is wrong in when you know that somebody doesn't love you, you love them. It does not matter, because love is caring. Love will find you. A genuine love will find you. So it's always good. Don't be despised. Don't be angry. Don't think that why doesn't he love me? People have different qualities that we do love in each other. You might not be this person's taste. The person might actually be thinking you are just too much for him.
Or her.
Being a girl or her, being a guy. Your love will definitely find you.
thank you very much. Thank you, princesses. All right, viewers, we've come to the end of today's show. I'm sure you lots have learned a lot, especially our young ones. We purposely brought this topic, love, into the young world so young people can know and understand what love is. It's because when we see how our young people are on the streets, we know that love is questionable. And that's why we have brought this to you. You have listened to our princesses tonight. And I'm sure you now know what it is to love. Love starts from the home, parents. Make sure you make love radiate within the home. So the young ones, when they go out, it goes as a fragment with them. And in everything you do, you love, because the world we live in, we love. You have to love the world you live in. You have to love the nature. You have to love the environment. You have to love space. You have to love what you do. You have to love who you are. And you have to love each other. Love your friends. Parents, again, we have lots of ganging out there with our young people. This happened because love is missing in the home. Show love. We are very, very excited again to have Princess Adekemi as a young person in Young World today. She has actually shown us and told us a lot of things. And we sure like to have her again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
We are also urging young people out there who would like to sit in a panel to say your view, to discuss your opinion. Come on, get in touch with Young World at Heritage Television, and we shall have you on board. Until next week, this is all of us from Young World saying goodbye.
Good night.
Good night.
Don't love for the wrong reasons.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Happy James ló sọ wípé ọdún àyàbọ̀ níbikíbi tí o lè wà. Ó fẹ́ jíjẹ ó fẹ́ mímu àgàgà tó bá tún wá fàdìyẹ bó ṣe kọ́kẹ́rẹ́ bó jẹ́ broilers ní full grown healthy. Happy James ni ẹ máa bọ̀. Ìyá Gbénga ọdún yóò yẹ.
Dádì Máyọ̀wá ó yẹ̀ tì nígbà tí mo ti ní Happy James Farm ní ohun gbogbo ti di ìrọ̀rùn.
Happy James Farm bíi báwo.
Ní Happy James Farm ohun gbogbo ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé. Ṣé adìyẹ lẹ́yìn fẹ́ ni cockerels tàbí broilers tí ó tóbi tó dẹ̀ ní àlàáfíà. Ohun èlò ọbẹ̀ lóríṣiríṣi tòmátò tó pọ́n ròdòròdò tàtàṣé tó rẹ̀ dòdò ṣọ̀mbọ̀ tó yọmọ ṣọ̀bọ̀lọ̀ ẹja àrọ̀ tútù àti gbígbẹ fresh from farm no preservation rárá.
Ìmú gbádùn ẹ.
Bákan náà adìyẹ yíyan àti sísun lóríṣiríṣi fún àwọn ilé olóúnjẹ ìgbàlódé ńláńlá àti kéréje ìyẹn restaurant ní Happy James Farm. Àwọn ẹyin adìyẹ tó tóbi bọ̀ǹkùbọ̀ǹkù fún gbogbo àwọn alára tútà àti àwọn tó bá fẹ́ ra ẹyọ ìyẹn ní crate. Àyè tí wọ́n láti jẹ́ alágbàtà wọn. Ẹ̀pà kaṣú wọn rẹwà ó tóbi ó sì dára lẹ́nu ó ń ṣara lóore pẹ̀lú. Happy James Farm wọ́n ta ohun mímu lóríṣiríṣi wọ́n tún ní iléeṣẹ́ bakery ìgbàlódé.
Ṣé lóòótọ́ báwo ni mo ṣe lè rí wọn?
Wọ́n wà lọ́ṣun wọ́n wà ní Ìbàdàn wọ́n ṣe home delivery pẹ̀lú níbikíbi tí ẹ bá wà wọ́n gbé gbogbo tí ẹ bá fẹ́ wá fún yín. Olú-iléeṣẹ́ wọn wà ní
Onírèké village along Gogoṣẹ́ off Ìwó Ìkirè Ìrèwọlé local government beside Ọ̀ṣun State University.
Tàbí kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ sí wọn lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára sales@happyjamesfarm.com tàbí kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọn sí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ yìí
08140097878 àti 0708-138-6770 pẹ̀lú 0701-766-6010.
Happy James Farms ọdún yóò yẹ.
èyí ni àwọn ohun tí a kọ̀wé rẹ̀ àwa sì jẹ́rìí rẹ̀ a sì mọ̀ pé òtítọ́ ni ẹ̀rí rẹ̀.
This is an opportunity for you to visit Israel, Jordan, Mount Nebo in Jordan, on the ground where God spoke to Moses, showing him the promised land. May God lead us all there, and the holy land of Jerusalem, with Holy Trinity Family Chapel, UK.
Àǹfààní ńlá rèé fún gbogbo ènìyàn láti bá àwọn ènìyàn Ọlọ́run rìnrìn àjò sí ilẹ̀ mímọ́ Jerusalem láti jẹ́rìí àti láti gbàdúrà ní àwọn ibi tá a ti kà nínú Bíbélì nípa Jésù Kristi àti àwọn wòlíì ìgbàanì. Ìrìn àjò mímọ́ fún odidi ọjọ́ 10 gbáko ipò Jerusalem, Bethlehem àti Jọ́dánì.
10 days visitation. Ẹ ó fi ojú ara yín rí àfonífojì Élà níbi tí David ti borí Goliath, orí òkè Cameli, òkun Galilee, Cana níbi tí Jésù ti sọ omi di wine, odò Jordan níbi tí Jòhánù ti ṣe ìrìbọmi fún Jésù, ilé Joseph àti Maria ní Nazareth, Jericho, òkun pupa Dead Sea àti ọgbà Gethsemane níbi tí Jésù ti gbàdúrà.
Ibojì Lásárù.
Lazarus tomb.
Ibojì ọba Dáfídì ní Jerusalem.
King David's tomb.
Ilé tí Jésù pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀yìn rẹ̀ ti jẹ oúnjẹ alẹ́ Olúwa, yàrá òkè ti Pentecosti àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
Holy Trinity Family Chapel, UK, Albert Basin, South Docklands, London, E162QY, via Royal Albert Road, Galilean Reach Roundabout, Oṣù Kẹjọ ọdún 2020. Lágbèrè ìrìn àjò ilẹ̀ mímọ́ Jerusalem, the 8th month, August 2020. Bí ẹ bá fẹ́ mọ̀ sí, ẹ pè Captain Mother Hassan, sorry, 078-72-137-953. You can also call call Pastor Kumuyi on 079-846-34898 or email us v.arson@hotmail.uk.
Jerusalem ìlú mímọ́ ni àwùjọ débẹ̀ ni.
We people then are London. Una don't hear about HeritageTV. They don't come with something new. All them boku gladi where they happen in London. HeritageTV get different camera for una business then. Not to just gentleman and woman, no more for take fine picture. You self can look good na camera. And it no matter whose partner the one where you tap. HeritageTV, they take picture. We go make you enemy then shame. You family and friend them go call. Because HeritageTV, we get the best. For any kind of business where you get, like birthday, christening, wedding, church or mosque business, and even burying, HeritageTV na the master. HeritageTV, we then at the heart of London, and we get the best technology in our studio in Otapio. You can call me anytime na this number 020-800-46-100, or you can email me na info@heritagetv.co.uk. But wait, you can call me na the mobile self 0734-123-4560. HeritageTV. We no go let you down.